know how to do a middle finger to the mean people of the internet? No, because you're a cat.
Hi guys, my name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara's Never Seen. In the last video, somebody commented, does Tamara own anything other than tank tops? Put some clothes on. So I thought I would not wear a tank top for this episode, just so that makes some people happy. Oh wait, I am wearing a tank top. That guy. Today I'm watching RoboCop. After I posted the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, everyone was like, why didn't you do RoboCop instead? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's the politics of Twitter, guys. You have to follow the politics of Twitter. I imagine it's just gonna be like an 80s-y action film, I think, with robots. Let's get started.
Tamara's Never Seen.
Okay, this was way more silly and more of a comedy than I thought it was going to be. Also way more brutal than I thought it was gonna be. Like, guns are blowing off parts of people's bodies. Though silly, the practical effects and the makeup and the robot models were super fun and like really great to watch. I know I say this in every reaction video ever, but it was not what I was expecting. I just tweeted out, you all have 20 minutes, give me your specific predictions on how you think I'll react to RoboCop. I won't be looking at my phone until then. So it's out there, and we shall see. I really enjoyed Media Break, the fake news show. This is Media Break. You give us 3 minutes, we'll give you the world. That's what she said. So the story itself, I don't think is very detailed. It's very like, oh, there's robot cops. Oh, it's the main cop. Oh, he becomes the robot cop. Oh, then the robot cop has to fight the other robot cops. And then there's corruption in the police station and the government. And then all is well. So it's like very, yep. That's what I expected. You see Murphy, who's transferred to this, dingy police station in Detroit. He gets his new partner, Lewis, and there's just like a bunch of like exposition. Then you're introduced to the first robot cop. I'm getting a very like BioShock vibe from Ed 209. Then he shoots and kills someone. And it's really intense. Bob is like, too bad about Kinney, huh? That's life in the big city. Let me think about all the times that I've seen a human get shot down and killed by a giant robot. 0, the amount is 0. Great, okay. Now that's cleared up, not what life in a big city is like. So this guy, Robert, Dick, is the one who created the Ed 209 program, and Bobby, is coming in with the new RoboCop design. Typical villain versus typical good guy, even though Bobby's kind of a jerk too, so they're both just jerk dudes. But for the new RoboCop, they need a person to volunteer. They're like, no one's gonna wanna do this. Give up like their whole life to be this robot. And in the next scene, Murphy is talking to Lewis about how his son needs a good role model. And you're like, there we go, check. There's this really funny scene where Lewis and Murphy go after these bad guys who have robbed this bank. And Lewis has this one guy at gunpoint, and he was just peeing out in the open. And she gets distracted by his penis, looks down at it, and he like punches her out. It's like, oh girls, it's always happening. Happens to me twice a week. That should be in the police training. Don't get distracted by penises. So Murphy is there, like has his gun out at the bad guys, and Lewis is, knocked out somewhere out of penis shock, and they start shooting Murphy, and they shoot his hand off, and then he pulls it up, and it's just a stump, a bloody stump. And then they shoot his arm off, and then they start shooting his chest a bunch, and then they shoot a bullet through his brain. So, I mean, he's gone, right? Right? No! They rush him to the hospital to turn him into RoboCop, but like at that point, what are you taking from him? I wrote down his blue eyes? But then, yeah, they do actually end up taking his blue eyes from him, so. One part too where they were able to save the other arm, and then Bob comes in and he's like, no, don't get rid of that arm. So he's just like full robot, the back of his head is robot, and then the front of his head is human. So I know he has some memories. I'm not trying to read into it too much here because I know it's RoboCop, it's not, a science thesis paper. What did they salvage out of his brain to have memories still? And then they were like, oh, we're gonna zap his memories anyways. I'm confused at why they needed a human. I know to further the story, but it just doesn't make that much sense. So at this point, Murphy has been like fighting crime and doing really great in the city, but he's having these small little flashbacks. He's out and about when he's not really supposed to be out and about, and he goes and he catches one of the guys who was like shooting at him, and he's got all these flashbacks going on. So he goes to his home where his wife and son and him lived, and it's for sale. Oh no, so sad. And apparently the wife like started over because he's dead to them. And so at this point you're like, no, he's never gonna see his kid again, no. But also you see his house for sale and there's like burnt flowers everywhere and garbage and stuff, and you walk in and it's like, oh, it's for sale. And these realtors really didn't do a good job with this. They're never gonna sell it for market value. And at that point, I really wish the movie went in a completely different direction and he just fixed up the home so that his wife and kid got a lot of money. RoboCop, the interior designer on HGTV. Dick is the bad guy, and then he's got a lackey. And the lackey goes to Bob's house, shoots his legs a bunch of times, and then blows his house up. And then I realized that the lackey is the dad from that 70s show. RoboCop goes out and takes out this like Coke factory, and he sees the dad from that 70s show there, and he's about to kill him, and then he's like, don't kill me. Dick is the bad guy. I love that in the beginning, he's got his 3 main things that he has to do, like uphold, protect, and serve, and blah, blah, blah. Goes to arrest Dick, and he's like, you know what the 4th one is? You can't arrest me. It's like this big surprise. Because it's a guy under a suit. It's not a robot. And he does a really good job most of the time with like portraying a robot, but sometimes when he's shutting down and he's just like, he's like, okay, buddy, good job. Ed 209 comes in and they fight each other, and it's really funny because it'll go to like full-size RoboCop to like model Ed, and then you can tell that they're models, and then like at one point RoboCop goes through some glass and then you can just see that it's a dummy, and then RoboCop goes downstairs and Ed can't do stairs, and so he just like falls on his back and flails, and I'm like, same, that's how I feel about stairs. But Dick has told everyone that RoboCop is bad, and so everyone's like shooting at him, and then Lewis saves him, and they go to this dark, secluded, weird warehouse factory place. You know, warehouse factories. I wrote fake news is hilarious, and I mean the fake news site, but also. Bad guy's got a military fat man. Fat man is from Fallout. They use the F word, faggot, product of its time. So some time goes by and Lewis is asleep on a pile of sticks. She chose a pile of, like, your car is right there. Just sleep in the back of your car. You couldn't have found a better bed? So then no, you know what? I'm just really still on the sticks thing. Why could she not find a better bed? Her car was right there and she's lying on a pile of sticks. Like there's a small blanket between her and this pile of sticks. Ooh, just like my childhood home. Come on, Lewis. So then the bad guys show up. Emil drives into toxic waste and ends up in like 2.5 seconds of having contact with the toxic waste. Looks like Sloth from the Goonies. Thank you, Tamara's Ever Seen, for letting me know what that reference even means. One of the bad guys drops rubble on RoboCop, and then RoboCop clops on over to Clarence. Spikes him in the neck with his cool spiky thing. Best weapon by far that RoboCop has. Lewis is just shot to pieces, and she looks up and she's like, Murphy, I'm a mess. And I was like, same! But the way she says it is kind of like a weird like 70s sitcom, like, Murphy, I'm a mess. And then everyone laughs in the studio audience. It was great. RoboCop goes to kill Dick. And he's like, you still can't kill me because I work here. The president of the company is like, Dick, you're fired. And then he shoots him and he falls out of the window, and the graphics are so funny. Or whatever, somebody was like, it's not graphics, Tamara, it's a movie, it's not a video game. Sorry. I obviously don't know what anything is, but the special effects are hilarious. So I loved it. Okay, let's see what these predictions are. I'll feel like breaking windows. Yeah, I do. When ED-209 shoots the executive in the boardroom, you will laugh so hard you almost cry. So I watched the movie last night, and I'm filming it this morning. When that happens though, I was like, I need to document how I look, so I took pictures, and this is how I look when that happened. You will know how RoboCop ended. I mean, that's just such a good prediction. You'll think it's so corny, you'll beg Doug to do a Nostalgia Critic review on it. I mean, I think there's a lot of material in here, so I think this would be a great episode for Nostalgia Critic. I predict you're going to get I'll buy this for $1 stuck in your head for a while. Second prediction, you will love this ridiculous movie. I really, really enjoyed it. And I forgot to mention the I'll buy this for $1, which is like this fake TV show that they have. You'll assuredly recognize the Jesus allegory, but the original's social satire elements might pass you by. Very much a product of its time. I mean, I do know that Detroit was in a bad place at that time, and a lot of American cities were in a bad place, and as the rich get richer, and so you've got this crazy company involved with everything, who even control the police. They're a security company. They shouldn't have access, like, control over the police of the city of Detroit. So there's like a lot of greed elements there, and I think that was mainly what I took from it. Can guns really do that much to a human body? Yeah, I feel that very hard. I think you'll be surprised that the film is more clever parody and less mindless action. Totally. You'll turn into a robot. Okay, I got so many responses. This is so cool. I'm definitely gonna keep doing this. That was a blast. Thank you for giving me your predictions. This morning, I uploaded a video on my personal channel, Tamara Lynn Chambers at youtube.com. So check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.